A simple woman named Natalie was humiliated, drenched, and violently shoved out of her high school reunion at the Marriott in Chicago. Her ex and old classmates tearing her apart with laughs and fists, until her billionaire husband, Victor Grayson, stormed in to flip their world upside down. The ballroom glittered with wealth, but Travis, her smug ex, doused her with water, snarling, "Useless and poor," while Kelly dumped her purse and Mike slammed her into a table, the crowd cheering her out the door, until a mic crackled with a truth that'd bury them all. The room was all chandeliers and champagne flutes, a sea of sequined dresses and tailored suits, buzzing with old memories and new boasts. Natalie walked in wearing a plain black dress and flats, her auburn hair in a loose braid. She was gorgeous, deep brown eyes, a quiet elegance, but no one saw it. To her former classmates, she was just the awkward girl from back then, still stuck in their minds as a nobody. They had no idea she'd rewritten her story into something they couldn't dream of touching. Her ex-boyfriend, Travis, spotted her first. He was leaning against the bar, a beer in hand, his blonde hair slicked back, still carrying that cocky grin she'd once fallen for. "Well, look who crawled out of the woodwork," he said, loud enough to turn heads. "Natalie freaking Harper. Still useless, huh?" She froze, her smile faltering, but she didn't bite back. "Hey, Travis," she said softly, hoping to keep it civil. He laughed, a harsh sound that drew a crowd. "What's with that dress? You poor boring in bed and can't even afford something decent?" "Guess some things never change." The room erupted, old cliques reforming around his venom, like it was 1999 all over again. Travis didn't just stop at words. He stepped right up to Natalie, jabbing a finger in her face, his beer breath hot and sour. "You're a waste of space, you know that?" He spat, loud enough to hush the room. Then he grabbed her water glass and dumped it over her head, the icy liquid soaking her braid and dripping down her face. "There! Now you look as pathetic as you are!" he roared, laughing as Kelly whooped. "Perfect shot!" Natalie flinched, water stinging her eyes, but she didn't snap, just wiped her cheek, her silence a shield against their venom. Natalie hadn't come to show off. She'd hesitated even RSVPing, but her old friend Jenna had begged her to show up, saying it'd be fun to catch up. Natalie could have skipped it. She ran a powerhouse investment fund now, her days filled with boardrooms and billion-dollar deals. But she liked the idea of seeing familiar faces without the weight of her title. Her wealth was hard-earned, built from scratch after a broke college dropout phase, and she kept it under wraps. No diamonds, no designer labels, just her, humble as ever. But the minute she stepped into the ballroom, the air shifted, and the past came roaring back to bite her. It didn't stop there. Kelly, the former cheer captain with a platinum bob and a tight red gown, sashayed over, smirking. "Oh, honey, did you borrow that from your mom's closet? This isn't a thrift store party." She flicked Natalie's braid, giggling as others joined in. "Seriously? Who let her in?" Brian, the jock-turned-car salesman, chimed in, his voice booming. "Bet she's still living in that dump trailer, probably here for the free food." Laughter rolled through the crowd, eyes glinting with cruel delight. Natalie's cheeks burned, but she stayed quiet, clutching her purse, willing herself to ride it out. Kelly took it further, snatching Natalie's purse from her hands and holding it up like a trophy. "What's in here? Coupons? Food stamps?" She taunted, unzipping it and dumping the contents. Keys, a wallet, a phone, onto the sticky floor. "Oh, look, nothing worth a damn, just like her." Brian kicked the wallet across the room, smirking. "Bet it's empty. Poor girl's gotta eat somehow." The crowd howled, some stomping on her things, turning it into a game. Natalie bent to pick them up, her hands trembling, but she didn't argue, just gathered her scattered life as they laughed harder. Travis kept going, feeding off the attention. Remember how she used to follow me around like a lost puppy? Couldn't even keep me interested. Worst lay I ever had. He grinned at Kelly, who cackled, "Guess that's why you dumped her, huh?" Total snooze. A guy named Mike, now balding but still loud, shouted, "Hey, Nat, got a job yet? Or are you still sponging off someone?" The taunts piled up, a wall of noise that hit her like punches. She tried to sip her water, hands steady, but inside, her heart was racing. She didn't want to fight, didn't need to prove anything to these people. The hostility turned physical. Mike wasn't content with words either. He lumbered over, towering over Natalie, and shoved her hard into a table, her hip slamming against the edge with a thud. "Move it, deadweight!" he barked, his voice booming as the table wobbled, spilling drinks. "You're a freaking eyesore! Get lost!" Kelly clapped, shrieking, "Yeah! Trash her out!" While Travis egged them on. "She's a stain on this reunion! Dump her!" Natalie steadied herself, pain shooting through her side. But she didn't cry out, just straightened up, her composure a quiet defiance they didn't deserve. Kelly accidentally bumped Natalie's arm, spilling her drink down her dress. "Oops, my bad. Looks better wet anyway," she said, laughing as the crowd cheered. Brian grabbed a napkin, tossing it at her face. "Wipe up trailer trash. Don't stink up the place." Travis stepped closer, towering over her. "You're embarrassing yourself, Nat. Time to go. Nobody wants you here." He waved at the group, rallying them. "Right, guys? Let's show her the door." They clapped and hollered, a pack closing in. Natalie's voice trembled as she tried to speak. "I'll leave if that's what you want." Kelly shoved her toward the exit. "Good riddance!" They didn't just nudge her out. They made it a spectacle. As they dragged her toward the exit, Brian grabbed a handful of cocktail napkins and threw them at her, one smacking her face with a wet slap. "Clean yourself up, you disgusting nobody!" he yelled, while Travis snatched her braid, yanking it hard enough to make her gasp. "Out you go, loser! Don't come back crying!" he sneered, shoving her through the doors as Mike kicked at her flats, nearly tripping her. The crowd chanted, "Bye-bye, Nat!" filming the whole thing, their phones flashing like vultures circling a kill. Natalie stumbled into the hall, her scalp stinging, but she didn't turn back, just stood there, breathing as their jeers echoed. Mike grabbed her arm, dragging her past the dance floor, while Travis yelled, "See ya, loser!" The crowd parted, some filming on their phones, others chanting, "Out! Out!" until she stumbled into the hallway, the double doors slamming shut behind her. Natalie stood there, dress damp, braid fraying, the echo of their laughter ringing in her ears. Anger and hurt swirled inside her, but she didn't break. She hated being the target, hated how they'd turned a night of nostalgia into a public shaming. This wasn't about her anymore. It was about their need to feel big by making someone else small. She pulled out her phone, hands steady now, and texted Victor. "Hey, reunion's a bust. They kicked me out." He replied instantly. "What? Where are you?" She typed back. "Outside the Marriott? It's fine. Just rough." His next message was all caps. "They did what? I'm coming." Natalie sighed, a flicker of relief cutting through the sting. She didn't want a scene, but Victor was a force of nature. Once he knew she'd been hurt, there'd be no stopping him. Back inside, the party rolled on, oblivious. Travis was clinking glasses with Kelly, boasting about his latest sales gig, while Brian and Mike swapped stories about their glory days. The MC, a chipper woman named Lisa, took the mic, her voice cutting through the chatter. "All right, folks, time for a special announcement. Let's give a huge thank you to the main sponsor who made this reunion possible. Without her, we wouldn't be here tonight." The room hushed, curious. Lisa grinned. please put your hands together for Natalie Harper, chairwoman of Horizon Capital." A gasp rippled through the crowd, heads snapping around, searching for her. Travis choked on his beer, his grin gone. "Wait, what? Natalie?" Kelly's glass slipped, splashing red wine on her gown. "No way. That's not..." Brian's jaw dropped, his napkin hitting the floor. "The fun chick? Her?" Lisa kept going, oblivious to the shock. "Yep, Natalie's generosity funded every detail. Venue, food, drinks, the works. She's a legend now, running one of the biggest investment firms in the country. Let's get her up here." The doors swung open, and there she was, damp dress and all, stepping back in with a quiet grace that silenced the room. Then came Victor. He strode in behind her, 6'2", dark hair swept back, in a charcoal suit that screamed power. The air shifted. Every eye locked on him. Victor Grayson was a billionaire CEO, head of Grayson Enterprises, a tech giant that dominated the market. He'd built it from a garage startup into a global name, his charm and ruthless drive making him a legend in Chicago and beyond. He wrapped an arm around Natalie, his voice low but carrying. "You okay, babe?" She nodded, soft and steady. "Yeah, I'm good." He kissed her forehead, then turned to the crowd, his gaze like ice. "Who's Travis?" Victor asked, his tone sharp enough to cut glass. Travis stepped forward. Shaky. That's me. Hey, man." Victor didn't let him finish. "You called my wife useless, said she's poor, boring in bed, can't dress right?" Travis paled, stammering, "It was a joke. I didn't..." Victor's laugh was cold. "Funny guy, huh? Let's see how funny it is when I bury you." He pulled out his phone, dialing fast. "Sarah, it's Victor. Travis Coleman's got an app in at Grayson. Kill it. Blacklist him. Every division. Every partner firm. Done." Kelly tried to slink back, but Victor spotted her. "You, red dress, wine spill. You mocked her too?" She froze, voice small. "I didn't mean..." He waved her off, dialing again. "Mark, it's me, Kelly Sanders, realtor, right? Pull her license through our contacts." "She's finished." Brian and Mike shrank, but Victor wasn't done. "You too. Napkin guy and loudmouth. Job apps anywhere? Good luck. My network's closed to you, permanently." He hung up, pocketing the phone, his arm tightening around Natalie. "Anyone else want to test me?" The room was a graveyard. Faces pale, drinks forgotten. Travis tried again, desperate. "Nat, come on, we go way back." She met his eyes, calm and unyielding. "You don't get to call me that anymore." Victor smirked. "She's Mrs. Grayson now. Newlywed, my wife, and way out of your league." Lisa, the MC, stammered into the mic. Let's hear it for Natalie and Victor." A weak clap sputtered out, drowned by the tension. Victor leaned into Natalie, voice soft. "Why didn't you tell me they were this bad?" She shrugged, a faint smile tugging her lips. "Didn't want the drama. Thought I could handle it." He shook his head, proud and pissed. "You're too damn nice. They don't deserve you." He faced the crowd again, louder. "This reunion? Her money, her kindness. And you clowns trashed her for it. Enjoy the night. It's your last taste of her generosity." Travis's phone buzzed. He checked it, face crumpling. "My app's rejected. No longer eligible." "What the hell, man?" Victor grinned, dark and dangerous. "That's step 1. Step 2's you never working in this city again." Victor wasn't done. He cornered Brian and Mike by the bar as the night wound down, his presence a wall of menace. "You shoved my wife, threw crap at her. Think that's a game?" He growled, dialing his phone. Sarah, add Brian Decker and Mike Russo to the blacklist. Every industry I touch, they're poison. Ruin them. Brian stammered. Dude, it was a joke. But Victor cut him off. Joke's on you now. Your dealership, dead. Consulting, over. Mike's face crumpled, his phone buzzing with a firing text mid-sentence. The crowd watched, silent, as their worlds imploded. Victor's wrath, a guillotine they couldn't dodge. Kelly's hands shook as she scrolled her own screen. A text from her broker. License under review. Sorry, Kel. Brian and Mike whispered, panicked, their boasts turning to dust. The ones who'd laughed loudest now stared at Natalie, her damp dress a badge of honor, her silence a weapon they'd never understood. She didn't gloat, didn't need to. Natalie took Victor's hand, letting him lead her to the stage. Lisa handed her the mic, nervous. Anything to say? Natalie paused, then spoke, her voice clear. I came to see old friends, not to settle scores. But you made it this. Enjoy what's left. I'm done here. She stepped down, Victor at her side, and they walked out, leaving the ballroom in stunned silence. Later that night, as the reunion fizzled, Travis tracked Natalie down in the lobby, his cocky grin replaced with a sweaty, desperate grimace. Nat, please! I didn't know you were loaded! I need that job at Grayson! I'm drowning in debt! He begged, voice cracking. Kelly joined, clutching her stained gown. We're sorry, okay? Don't let him ruin us! Natalie looked at them, her damp dress still clinging, and shook her head, calm as stone. You called me useless, trashed my life for laughs. Beg all you want. I'm not saving you. Victor loomed behind her, smirking. You heard her. Get lost. They slunk away, broken, their pleas dust in the wind. By Monday, the fallout hit hard. Travis's job hunt stalled. Every firm he called had his name flagged. Victor's reach choking him out. Kelly's license was revoked. Her real estate gig dead. Clients dropping her like a hot coal. Brian's dealership let him go, citing reputation risks, and Mike's consulting contracts vanished overnight. Kelly tried one last shot the next day, ambushing Natalie outside her office, tears streaming, gown swapped for sweats. Please, Nat, I'm sorry. I'll grovel. I'll quit real estate. Anything. Don't let him destroy me. She sobbed, grabbing Natalie's arm. Natalie pulled free, her voice cool and final. You spilled my drink, trashed my stuff, laughed me out. You're done. I don't forgive that. She walked away, leaving Kelly crumpled on the sidewalk, her pleas drowned by the city noise. Victor's network had already shredded her career. No calls returned, no deals left, just a void where her life used to be. The reunion's Facebook page exploded, photos deleted, apologies posted. But Natalie never replied. She was busy running Horizon, her fund thriving, while Victor made damn sure her enemies sank. They didn't see her again. Natalie and Victor sat in their penthouse that weekend, her in sweats, him pouring wine, the city skyline theirs. You're a saint for putting up with them, he said, half smiling. She laughed, soft and real. Maybe, but you're my devil. Thanks for the backup. He clinked her glass, eyes warm. Always, Nat. Always. The ones who'd torn her down were gone. Their worlds collapsed, all because they couldn't see the queen behind the plain black dress. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.